and we're with Crystal instead of Matt today. We're going to talk about, anything really, but specifically pertaining to women. If you guys have questions. So Crystal is also a coach with us. So link in the description. You can check out all the services she provides. If you don't want to do a whole 4 weeks or something, you do consultations, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Consultations are usually about an hour long. Probably not any shorter, but I will go for a little bit. But yeah, the
video chats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll do a video chat. Most of them are just calls, but if you prefer to do a video, I'm always happy to do that.
Perfect. So yeah, she's in the competition prep. I'm in prep, but not as intense. And how many weeks are you in?
17. This will be week 17.
Weeks. So she's killing it.
Mm-hmm.
So link in the description. Check out Crystal's coaching. Hi, Jonathan. Carry on. He always says that.
What does he say?
Wanna be mega, bang mega.
That's funny.
Down 34 pounds in 2 months. Whoa!
That's
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Finally seeing you guys live. It's early here. Yeah. What is today's day? It's a Thursday, right? Random live. Since we're in Arkansas. And what else is going on? So I guess we can jump into just talking about things, right? And we'll just go to questions as we see them. So we can talk about our periods, because I know yours recently. You just lost yours recently.
Yep, just lost mine. And I think it's usually once you get down to a certain percent of body fat, that's when you usually lose it. But I'm actually not to that level. But I'm not taking in a lot, and I'm putting out a lot of energy. So I think my body just kind of decided it was time for it to stop having a period.
Yeah, and I've had I've lost my period before, not currently, but I've been lower than this just out of unhealthy eating habits and lost my period, and then it's that's just a really not a good sign.
Yeah.
So just lack of nutrients from what I know, and just really low caloric intake. So if you have that issue, definitely upping your calories, doing caloric refeeds, so eating a surplus of calories once a week could probably help with trying to get that back. I know a lot of women ask about getting their periods back. So I think, is that what you would say is the best probably as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And women don't want to have their periods, but it is so
it's a sign of health
for you.
Yeah.
Don't try and get rid of it. Just try to embrace the fact that you are a woman, and that we need that to continue on. It's good for our hormones.
Right, absolutely. Is keto okay for people with autoimmune, or do I need to do AIP keto? So it's definitely very person specific and depends on the autoimmune issues you have. I have some, and I haven't had really any issue. I have psoriasis, so I haven't had any issues with it flaring specifically on keto, but I'm doing AIP right now. I don't know if you have any experience with autoimmune.
I don't really. The only thing I know is that keto is an anti-inflammatory.
Right.
It does help, or it can help, but again, it is to each individual person and each individual issue. So
with the protocol that I've been doing for a month and a half, and it has been really nice, even if it's not, directly helping my psoriasis, just cutting out caffeine, cutting out dairy. I've cut out eggs, nuts, and seeds. So it feels like a lot, but once you start doing it, you're oh, there's so many more delicious foods. I don't need cheese all the time.
Yeah.
So that's been huge. Or I'm just doing raw sheep's milk or goat's milk. So I find that just sits better in my belly. I don't know.
And there's the things that you're cutting out are not things that we need.
Exactly.
They're things that we enjoy to eat.
Yeah.
And you
in
can
surplus.
Get those, yeah. And you can get those the nutrients from them. You can get them in other foods.
Exactly. Okay. It's hard. We usually do this differently. What would have happened if either of you did the 4,000 calorie challenge with the men? Is there a female version of an extreme caloric increase that has good results? So, I'd off the top of my head, I would just say not good results. What is a good result, right?
Yeah.
But Crystal and I are so different. We would have completely different results. Just because we're women doesn't mean we'd have the same. I'm a lot more body fat percentage than she is. She has a lot more muscle, different athletic abilities and levels, right?
Yep.
So, I mean,
in my off season, I was at like 2100, and then we actually raised it to 23, and I ended up gaining like 7 pounds within like a couple of months. So I'm gonna have to say for myself, I'm gonna gain fat really, really easily if I go that high.
Yeah, same with me. And I know Matt gained like 8 pounds. I think Robert only gained like 8 pounds too.
Yeah, and he was like super lean for his competition too.
Yeah, and they're just a lot more leaner than us, than women. I think women would respond negatively, not positively, in my opinion. 4,000 calories, unless your intake is different, right? There are some like bodybuilder women who intake a lot.
Yeah.
But
and like I don't know, it depends on like what your cardio is, what your workouts are like, all of that. I mean, all of it has to go into effect, but I don't know. I don't think I'd even want to try it.
Yeah,
it's
no,
just
neither would
too much
I.
food.
Yeah, I couldn't. I would probably just like vomit at the end of each day. I got really anemic on mine, so on your period. What keto foods are good to combat anemia other than spinach? So anemia is like iron deficiency, right? So red meat. So like I increase steak and I feel so much better. Like I steak every other night and I feel fantastic. So I would say red meat.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what I'd go for. A big burger, steak.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to hate steak, so I would always go for a burger. But that's what you need to do. And you can also supplement if you don't like those options.
Yeah, exactly. I just discovered I'm allergic to almonds. Yeah, so almonds, I know, I'm allergic to tree nuts too, but now I'm happier without them because it's so easy to eat like almonds.
Yeah.
It's hundreds and hundreds of calories just without even knowing it. So I'm glad it's like a blessing in disguise. So wondering about keto while breastfeeding and having supply issues. Thoughts. I'm not like well read. I don't even know if there's enough information out there regarding keto and pregnancy or keto and breastfeeding. I know though that Tristan's wife, Jessica Haggard from Primal Edge Health, she did keto with both of her pregnancies and breastfeeding. So she could be a good resource. But yeah, I think we're both like looking into that right now.
Yeah,
right?
I actually just texted Mega the other day asking her if she knew anybody who was familiar with that, because I have a lot of people coming to me now and asking me about it, and I think that it would be great to know, but I feel like there's just not the studies behind it.
Right, and that's something I want to be know a lot on before I'm just speaking on it. How often should you recalculate macros? I've lost 79 pounds.
As you're losing weight, you need to
So is there like a pound or like a weekly? Like, is there something you would suggest?
I don't know that I would necessarily do it weekly, but like maybe monthly, depending on how much you're losing, how fast. But for sure, every month you just need to kind of make sure that you're on the right page. And if you are, like, if you're still losing on the macros that you were at, there's no need to lower them.
Right.
So if you're happy with where you're at and you're like maintaining the weight loss and you want to continue that, then you can stay there, but there's no need to lower it unless you've hit a stall or something.
Yeah, I would agree. I have celiac disease and keto has helped my stomach bloat so much. Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, keto is great with bloat. So on my period, I used to bloat like crazy. I used to have like really painful just entire weeks. And since starting keto, no bloating. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, do you bloat on your period at all? You still bloat?
I gained like 5 pounds.
That's so funny. I don't put on, like, right now I'm on my period and I'm doing this cut, so you'd think I'd have some water retention, but I don't have any.
I haven't liked about the last month because I didn't have one. But I always make sure that people know that because they always freak out around that time. But I always gain. It's like between 3 to 5 pounds.
Okay. Yeah.
And I can feel it. Like, I feel thick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know that feeling. We all get the thick feeling. Yeah. But it's so crazy how, like, women, one, are so different from men and then so different from one another.
Yeah.
Like, we could be the same exact height and weight, but just everything is different across the board. And so it's hard to figure out something for yourself aside from experimenting. I've hit plateaus. Any tips? Do you have like? I guess your clients probably.
Yeah,
hit plateaus.
almost all of my clients come to me after I've already like hitting a plateau.
Right.
So if your calories are super low, then you need to like steadily increase them so that you can kind of reset your body. A lot of times that's what will happen is you will be eating so little that your body will regulate to that.
Right.
So you actually need to reset yourself, and that might cause you to gain a couple of pounds here and there, but then you can lower them back down again. Another thing is you can like try to fast. I don't promote fasting like as a whole, but it does work for some people. You can try and just do like a intermittent fasting in the morning, or just do like a 24-hour fast and shock your body. What else for a plateau?
Speaking on like upping your calories and then gaining a little weight, I think we all have fear around that, especially women, because we're so focused on the scale and it dictates our mood every single day. But what I've realized is if I'm upping my calories and I'm putting on weight per se, like you did when you upped your calories, right? You're also getting health. Like that's what your body kind of needs, right? To become healthy again before you can drop more weight or before you can cut more fat, because you're already eating so low. Like you want a healthy body, and if putting on a couple pounds, that's what that means. That's like okay. You got to be okay with that.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
tough to wrap your mind around that.
Yeah, it is, and like, but just think about a couple of pounds for 10 or 15 pounds later.
Yeah.
You know, and your body's happy with you, and you're actually feeding it the nutrients that it needs.
Right.
So.
Is this the new coach? Yes, it is, Crystal. So link in the description. You can check out what she offers, consultations and also coaching with nutrition and also training. She's training for a competition right now, hardcore. What's your deadlift? Your highest deadlift?
285.
285. Are you kidding me? We're like the same size. Obviously, she's more muscle, but she can deadlift almost as much as Matt. So, I mean, shame on Matt, right? What are the best types of birth control with keto? I personally, I'm just on a lower estrogen birth control. I like that better for me, and I tried out a couple different ones. I don't think it's keto specific.
Yeah, I get that question actually a lot.
Really?
So, each person needs their own amount of hormones for their body to work properly with the birth control. One thing that I will say about keto is that when you first start, your body will probably need to re-regulate its cycle. So, like for myself, I've been keto for 2 years, and I haven't had like a full like carb meal. I used to have issues with binging, but in over a year. So, I still spot every month, and I have a period every month. So, it's kind of like your body will find its regular.
Yeah.
And it may not be like what makes you happy. Like I don't want to be spotting every month, but that's just how my body is happy.
Right.
And that's going to be on no matter what kind of birth control I'm on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
just I guess trying some out, talking to your doctor, your gynecologist.
Yeah.
Breakfast ideas for non-gym days. I think mine are similar across the board, right? Gym or no gym.
Yep.
I think we both do just like morning fat coffees, right? Like just a lot of fat before we hit the gym. So it depends on when you hit the gym. But like, I guess what about someone who like works out after work? Because, you know, like 5 or 6, what do you recommend for that? It's hard to stay just with fat all that time, right?
Yeah, so I used to just like, I would have like my fatty coffee in the morning. I would have a meal at like noon.
What would a meal be like?
I don't know, like bacon, eggs, or like a hamburger, or you can eat whatever you want.
Right.
But just make sure that you're giving yourself like 2 hours before your gym session. That way you're, you know, like all the blood's not in your gut. It can actually be in your muscles.
Yeah.
Also a really good thing if you just want to feel full right before the gym is just like a fat bomb.
Yeah. That's what I do too with like just fat teas though.
Yeah.
But I don't think like a gym dictates what you eat before and after. I think whatever you want to fuel you, you can use.
It does matter if you're eating carbs, but it doesn't matter if you're eating keto.
Right. That's huge. So I've been on keto 5 days and no weight loss. What is going on? What is the best way to fix it? So 5 days isn't long enough to gauge anything, to be honest, right?
Yeah, nope.
I wouldn't put too much pressure on it or be upset or think you're doing something wrong. You're making such a big change. Your body's adjusting. Allow it to get to that point. I would give it 2 solid weeks at least, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, or a month or whatever you want until you're like worried about doing it wrong.
Yeah, so right now you're still going through like the keto flu.
Yeah.
Whether you have those symptoms or not, your body is completely transitioning, and that can take a couple of months. I'm not saying that it's going to take you a couple months to lose, but it's like potentially it could take your body a little bit to kick out all those carbs and all the junk that you've been eating and get used to actually burning fat for fuel.
Yeah. And then it depends on how much weight you have to lose, right?
Yes.
Like, if you don't have a lot of weight to lose, it's going to take you a lot longer to lose anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be a lot harder for sure.
Sun's out, guns out. Damn. Someone just said that. I didn't say that to you.
Nego was telling me that earlier.
Are you feeling cold in a caloric deficit?
Typically, yes. For some reason today I'm dying because the sun's actually out.
Matt's even really cold. He's like a little shivering baby.
Yeah.
But
I'm usually like in a jacket, in a sweatshirt, in a jacket, and like covered in a blanket.
Yeah.
And I'm freezing all the time. And I'm eating ice shakes
yeah.
to fill myself up, so it makes me even more cold.
Is 50 pounds down in 8 months good or bad? I mean, you've lost weight. That's success if that's your goal. And it depends on, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad, right? If you're making progress with your eating habits, right? And
yeah,
I think it's good.
Yeah, if you're being healthy, and typically we consider like 1 to 2 pounds a week safe. Mm-hmm. And if you're going over that and your body is reacting really well and you're still feeding it what it needs, then you're totally good. That's awesome.
Yeah. How to stay keto and maintain weight? We do get this question a lot. And maintain your weight as opposed to losing weight? Just like finding,
yeah, just finding where your body's happy. I mean, make sure that you're getting enough protein, staying within the ratios. Yeah. And it took me a while even to find out where my body was
maintaining. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you're still losing weight, just up your calories, right?
Yeah.
Slowly each week, just up them, or up them 100, 200, and see if your body is still losing weight. So as long as you're losing weight, you're eating at a deficit for your body. Mm-hmm. Let's go back to live. Does BMI really matter? I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
It's BMI, like the numbers are man-made, right? Like a group of people, or scientists, I don't know, a group of men created the BMI scale so they could fit us into a category: obese, overweight, underweight, whatever. And I was overweight for a lot of my life, but I also, you would look at me, you wouldn't be like, she's overweight,
Yeah. I think it's junk.
Yeah. So I wouldn't go off of that and worry too much. I know people do. Just focus on how you feel, how you look every day, eating good whole foods. Can you have a cheat day on keto? What's your philosophy on cheat days? I'm sure your clients ask about it, or like...
Yeah, so if we're talking about like a keto cheat day where you literally only eat keto foods, I honestly think it's okay to do every once in a while. Every once in a while, your body needs it. And you just, sometimes we just need to be human and enjoy a night out with our family or whatever it is. If you're talking about carbs, then absolutely not. I disagree. I don't think you should.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
But that's also where I'm coming from a spot where when I have had carbs, it was really, really hard for me to get back to it.
Yeah.
Even being like a coach, like it's hard to kick the sugar aside and then not go back or not have those cravings, and I just don't want to go through that.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, and so like knowing yourself is the best thing. It's like, I know, I could have pizza tonight and then be fine tomorrow and get back on keto, but some people can't handle that. It just turns into weeks of like eating carbs, and then you feel bad, and it's an unhealthy mental cycle, I think. A lot of the time. Crystal is the best coach ever. Aubrey J. Do you know Aubrey?
Yes. I love her. She's the one that had the pictures.
Oh, yeah. You look amazing. Let's see. What do you think of TKD with starting keto? I do weight training 3 to 5 times a week and don't want to have weak lifts. Have you ever done targeted keto diet? Do you know? Okay, so it's when you're intaking like 10 to 20 grams of just pure like dextrose. So it's not like feeding your liver glycogen. It's just it's fueling your muscles for a workout. So it's like you're using the sugar for targeted keto.
We've talked about it a little bit, but it just, I mean, I'm not familiar enough with it to say anything about it, honestly.
Yeah. Matt and I did try it out. Matt really liked it. He found that his lifts were better, I think, in the gym. I'm speaking for Matt. Matt, did you find that targeted keto diet was like
slightly
beneficial?
Better lifts, but it impacts your diet.
Okay, yeah. So he said he had slightly better lifts, but it impacts your overall diet because you are intaking those extra sugars, carbs. So
that's when you say that, it to me I go, ugh.
Yeah.
Like I just.
Yeah. It depends. Yeah, it depends on you. If it's worth a try, if like you're really focused on getting the best lifts and productivity aside, isn't a priority. I know it differs person to person, but for you, how many calories do you eat for cutting, maintaining, and bulking? So that's going to vary week to week, month to month.
Yep.
So it's even hard to say like what is perfect for me or what is perfect for Crystal because we're lifting, right? And our bodies are very different. So that would be something really specific to you.
Yeah, and it depends on what you're doing. So like I was doing like a powerlifting like scheduled workouts, and my calories were different for that than it was for bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And depending on how much cardio you're doing, and I mean it really, really, really does. I know you want like a simple answer, but it really depends on everything that you do.
Yeah. Someone asked what I'm drinking. They always ask for what we're drinking. So we always have water on us, and this has electrolytes in it. It's the Vega Sport Hydration. We've been showing it a lot. It's cheap. It's on Amazon, and we like it. The flavor's good. Snacks during your period. She needs help. Well, what are your favorite snacks when you're not like cutting and you can eat whatever?
Almond butter.
Oh, almond butter. So I would weigh that out if you can get it can be dangerous.
Pancakes.
Ooh,
that's like my favorite.
I'm craving pancakes so bad right now. But I love hard-boiled eggs. Just like slicing them in half, salt and pepper.
I like the cheese crisps, like the wisps.
Wisps, Cello wisps. So like you can get them in bulk at Costco. So there's a lot of good snacks.
I'm also really good at, I used to be really good at it, but I would make like one dessert a week, like a cheesecake or a brownie or whatever. Make a big thing and then just like cut it up into 7 pieces. And then I'd have one piece every night.
Yeah, and that's like, you have only 7 pieces. So it's like you're going to save them. That's smart. And it also like satisfies your sweet tooth and you don't feel like you're deprived.
Yep.
Is it okay to not hit my macros? I usually eat once a day, but not enough to hit macros.
If you're eating enough to fuel your body, then yes.
I think you could be eating too low calorie though, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like as long as you're feeding what your body needs. Like if you're only eating 800 or 900 calories because you're only getting it in one meal, you need to eat more.
Yeah.
You need.
So you can like have a snack earlier on, or like have bulletproof coffees. Just figure out a way you can get some food in without like feeling nauseous. I know a lot of people can't handle extra food, but maybe try upping your calories. You probably would just also feel better, I think.
Yeah, and your body will regulate too. Like if you slowly start incorporating more foods, your body will get used to eating those or having like a more full stomach.
Yeah, I agree. I would love to start lifting weights, but I don't want to spend 2 to 3 hours a day at the gym.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. Matt and I do not spend 2 to 3 hours at the gym. We spend 45 solid minutes, and as long as you're doing like a solid workout, you don't need to like go. That's way too long, in my opinion. Any exercises or muscle groups you should focus on at the beginning. Do you have any?
Is there anything that you should? I would just ease your way into it. Make sure you warm up and make sure you stretch. Those are 2 of the biggest mistakes people make. They want to get in, they want to get their workout done, they want to leave. Make sure that you're warming up and that you're stretching. And then after that, I mean, if you're just beginning and you really just want to ease yourself into it, use bands or just use the machines. You don't have to jump into free weights. But yeah, I mean, just stick to an easy, simple workout. Go for 30 minutes, and then if that feels good, then go for 35 the next time, and, you know, slowly increase. But
yeah, and I think just like, you know, doing lifts you enjoy, I found that works best for me. Like, I'm not gonna go in and like deadlift 275 because that would make me not want to go in. So do something that you enjoy. So whatever body parts or like doing cardio, whatever you like, do that.
Yep.
Let's see. Any ideas on craving while on period? What would be good to eat? And you mostly crave chocolate. We have a lot of we have brownies on our site. We have a lot of good recipes you could try out. What Matt and I made a lot before the cut, and even in the beginning when we had a lot of fat macros, was like just we'd whip up heavy whipping cream and then add cocoa powder to it and stevia, and it was just chocolate like whipped mousse.
Yeah.
I think that's like a great.
I've seen that video. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah, you can do it with mascarpone cheese added or cream cheese, and it's simple, it's quick to make, and you don't feel bad.
My favorite thing is like a chocolate fat bomb. Just like coconut oil, butter, and cocoa powder, and like some stevia or
So
whatever.
good. And then some salt, so it brings out
Oh, yeah.
so good. Should I focus on cardio more during keto to lose weight?
No, I mean, whatever. So my biggest thing is that as long as you're enjoying it, the exercise that you're doing, the better. But if you're, I mean, it depends on what your goals are, because I lift weights to lose weight, to gain muscle, to do it all, but I do increase my cardio the closer to like my competition I'm getting.
Yeah.
Because it's going to up like how many calories I'm burning a day. So it depends on what your goal is, but of course, like incorporating some cardio is good. It's good for your cardiovascular system. It's good overall. So maybe incorporate a little bit.
How do you gain muscle on keto? I mean, it's the same as gaining muscle on any other diet.
Yep.
It's, for what I've realized, and Matt and I talk about this, is it's intensity of training, right? It's not just like eating less and then working out, but it's like how hard you actually are working out.
Yeah. I mean, I think like for Robert and I feel like we always say like go lift heavy. You don't have to lift heavy. That's just a really good way to like break your muscles and allow them to grow. And then, you know, if you're a woman and you just really do want to get toned and you just want to lift a little bit, then you can go lighter weights. But typically,
would you say like higher reps or something, or is there anything that you would?
I really don't like the whole like higher reps, lower weight thing. But if you're just wanting to be active, then that's totally fine. If you're wanting to gain muscle, you need to go in there and know that it's gonna suck a little bit, because you literally have to break those muscle fibers in order to build them.
Yeah, that's a great point. And doing that, you want to be pulling really heavy, in my opinion, and like also doing the full like muscle mind connection and the full like extension or whatever, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but is it harder for women to lose on keto? This is a great question, because I feel like we've been talking about this a lot. It's again, it's very person specific, but I think that from my experience, especially comparing myself to Matt and talking to a lot of other women, it is a little more of a struggle. It's not consistent weight loss, right? It's like up and down, because we have our periods, we have hormones, so like our weight fluctuates day to day, and that's just really normal, right? What about your clients?
Yeah, I feel like it is a lot harder, and you really just have to stick in there. The longer you stick in there, the more you actually are going to see that. But what happens a lot of times is you will want to see the results really quickly, and then you don't see them, and then you get upset, and then you eat too much, or you have a carb day, or
I've done it. I've eaten way too much because I feel bad, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's totally normal. We want to like comfort ourselves, especially if you do get cravings like on your period or around that time or anything like that. You're just gonna mess it up.
Yeah.
So hang in there, and you'll be able. Your body will catch on, and you will eventually shed that weight. But my biggest thing is I always have people take measurements, pictures, use a scale, go get an in-body, go get a DEXA. There are so many other ways of measurement, and looking at just the scale is not going to do you any favors.
Yeah. And this cut has shed light on that for me more than you would believe. Because my body looks drastically different in my picture.
Drastically. But
my weight hasn't moved as much as you would think it would have after like doing this for almost 11 weeks now. Like cheap chocolate instead of Lily's. I know I can't do the Baker's chocolate, but I know Robert and Matt do Baker's chocolate, and Crystal. So, I mean, Baker's chocolate is you get used to it though, I think. So you can try that. That's always in the baking section. It's cheap.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You can also make your own, like just use cocoa powder. And do you guys have a chocolate
bar? Oh yeah, we have a chocolate bar recipe. You should
make that.
You should make that. It is like dark chocolate, but it's not like bitter. So that's a good option. What are the ketos you and Matt used when you did that skit? Oh, we did an prove it exogenous ketone skit, and we were like making fun of the company.
I think we just used pink salt.
Oh, but we weren't actually using ketones. We were using pink salt. Matt just poured a bunch of like salt into a bag.
And then one we used an almond butter jar too. I remember. I just put Prove It OS.
Oh yeah, we just wrote a big sentence. Anyone else notice that non-keto foods don't taste as good as you remember when you've tried them since starting keto?
Yeah.
Everyone says that, but I swear to God, if I ate a Cheeto right now, I would be like, this is the most phenomenal Cheeto I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. I guess I haven't had any foods recently that I could say, like, yeah, that donut didn't taste as good. I haven't had a donut, right?
Yeah.
What are you guys thinking of? You're just thinking of, like, what foods are you talking about? You tell me, because I feel like a croissant would taste great.
I guess when I had the cereal for the carb up.
Oh, we did
not good?
We did honey bunches of oats.
It was pretty good.
It was the best cereal I've ever had in my life.
It was good, but it all came like rushing back to me how like
Yeah.
I just can't be a part of my life. Like, I can't do this.
You get reminded how bad it makes you feel. So I don't think it's the taste. I think it's like, well, carbs are shitty.
And just how bad I wanted to keep eating it.
Yeah, and you want to know. Oh my God, can I turn the camera to see Matt right now?
Yeah. What's up, guys?
Look at Jack.
Hanging out with Jack, cheating on Julius a little bit.
Julius, we need Jack in our life, guys. Jack is the best. Mega, why did you do a cut? I feel like you would look so bomb in a surplus and gaining muscle. Oh my God, that's so sweet. I needed to hear that. But gaining muscle is so freaking hard. Like, I had no idea until doing this cut because I feel like I haven't really put on as much muscle and I'm just pushing it so hard. But Chris, you get it, right? Like, you're putting on muscle and she's killing it. She cries at the gym. I don't mean to put you on blast, but right? Like, it's that hard. And I feel like I have dreams of eating at a surplus because who doesn't? And then gaining muscle. But I don't know if I would gain muscle or I would just gain a lot of weight.
Yeah, I mean, you do, like, typically you do gain fat when you are gaining muscle.
It's a trade-off, right?
Yeah.
But then if I did a surplus, I would probably want to do a cut again. And doing the cut right now makes me not want to do it again. I feel like in a couple months I'll look back and I'll be like, this was a great experience. But
it does take a long time to build muscle. Usually the first year that you lift is the year that you gain muscle really quickly. But then after that, if you're doing it naturally, you really aren't going to gain that much muscle in a year. Like, it's just not going to happen. Your body, it takes time to build that.
What's the best potassium supplement? I've been taking, let me go get the one we've been using. What do you take?
I just take like a regular potassium citrate, and like there's like the powders too.
Yeah.
That I recommend people get. If you don't want to take like a Zip Fizz or anything like
Zip
that.
Fizz, right?
There's like the powder that you can buy like from bulk supplements and just like put it into a drink, and it doesn't taste very good, but.
Or you can make your own pills.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
But this is what we've been using, and it's actually pretty delicious. Now I'm like loving it. It's cheap. It's on Amazon. We recommend it. Any last thoughts? You want to just like, do you want to come in, Matt? Talk a little bit.
No.
Talk about your cut. How you feel?
Yeah, okay. I guess I could for a minute.
Okay, I'll switch.
Oh. What's up, guys? So tomorrow I'm doing a refeed with Robert is here. He's gonna coach me through that. We're gonna make a video on that. And it's not a carb refeed, it's a calorie refeed. So it's about 1.5x my calories, right?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited for that. But I did, Robert actually like looked at my body today. Like he kind of assessed how far I've come, and pretty impressive for sure. I haven't compared it to the before picture, but I'm down 21 pounds, which is pretty extreme, right?
Yeah. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah, like a little too much, but
For someone who doesn't need to lose that much.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I just don't have a lot of muscle mass to begin with, so, but I want to see my total muscle loss throughout this, because we're going to get a bod pod at the end. I got one at the start, so we'll see my muscle loss and my fat loss as a percentage.
Nito Keto just said when you're on a cut, you won't gain muscle. Isn't that false, according to your
It's
body?
tougher
Well,
too.
The thing is, when I was, for like the first, I think 8 weeks that I was cutting, I think I gained muscle while I was losing body fat. So I really wasn't changing my weight, but I was not at a deficit. I was still just lowering my calories.
Okay.
So when you're at a deficit, you're not trying to gain muscle because you're
Trying to
literally not
preserve.
eating enough.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But
Is it impossible?
If you're a beginner, you can gain muscle while you're cutting, right? But for most people, it's
Yeah.
mainly about preserving.
yeah.
Is all the fat and oils going to clog my heart arteries and give me a heart attack? We're not doctors. No, I would say the carbs and processed foods are what clogs your arteries and gives you a heart attack, since we have like a rapid increase in heart attacks and a rapid increase in consumption of packaged foods.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my take on it, but you should probably do some research for yourself and don't start keto if that's still like a question you're having in the back of your mind. I guess we're going to call it, guys. This is Crystal. She's doing coaching, and it's going to be cool to see her in, what, like 8 weeks?
No.
6 weeks?
5 or 6?
Yeah.
5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah.
She's doing her first ever contest. Hopefully we'll be able to like share some footage. I guess we won't actually be there, but
We'll get Robert to
Yeah,
get some.
Robert and I will get some good footage, and yeah, I'm really excited.
and you can check out the link in the description if you want to get coaching from Crystal. She's awesome. She's been coaching us for like the past day and a half since we've been here, giving us tips. All right, see you guys.
Bye.